Hi, hello, my name is Ev, and on this channel we like to talk about knits, whips, yarn acquisitions, and all things fiber related. Today we are actually working on the right angle jacket. I hope today to finish off, where is it? I hope today to finish off the second sleeve, bind it, and then pick up for the button band and the collar and work that up. The sleeves turns out is an I-cord and isn't a ribbed. It's a very thick I-cord, which I think looks so far pretty nice. Maybe go buy some buttons at the fabric store because I need to go do that, and they are closed on Sundays. Vancouver is really weird. A lot of places are open, like they're closed Sunday and Monday, and then during the week they close at 4 or 5 p.m. Basically, the only time I can go is Saturday during the day. Now, that is actually kind of annoying because a lot of places in Vancouver work on those hours. I'm so glad to have you guys here with me today because yeah, if you guys haven't watched my What I Knit in May video, I highly recommend that you do. I talked about this cardigan and many other whips that I was working on. I did mention in that video that I had made a mistake. These sleeves should be identical and matching, and they are not. I accidentally picked up the lighter blue for this one. So what I'm going to do is, for this one, I used the white to do the I-cord and bind off, and for this one, I'm going to do it in blue so that it's the same, and the white and the blue are, the light blue at least, are the main colors of this cardigan. Jacket. Keep doing that. It's a jacket. So yeah, so the white and the blue are supposed to be the main colors and the colors that reappear the most. I had to buy more of those colors. So the button band is, and the collar is also going to be half white, half blue. I figured might as well just do it for the sleeves. Cardigan, jacket. This jacket is already a pretty funky color palette, color scheme. Right now we do have both sleeves attached. This is the back. Now for the button, what I'm hoping is potentially to get some nice white buttons. I feel like a white kind of retro vintage thick button would look really nice. And these colors are all kind of fairly light colors except for this navy blue. So I feel like a lighter button would just add to it and not clash too much. This jacket is already really loud in texture and color. We have a sleeve! Woohoo! I don't know why. I think it's the I-cord. It's like bubbling in on itself. Maybe washing and blocking will help that because it's like a little whoop. The I-cord is done on a smaller needle. Maybe that's why too. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. After all that, I decided to come home. I am pretty excited because, so these are the two buttons I decided to pick out. The first ones are these. So these are the two buttons I decided to go with. The first one is this cute little set. They're off-white, kind of like pearly flowers. And the second one is a more retro vintage look. So it is these white circle button with a silver square in the center. Whenever I go to the button store, I think it's called Dress. Whenever I go to Dress So, one thing I really do like about that store is the fact that they have 99 cents. Well, depends. Some of them are 25 cents. So basically they have these knitting magazines for under $1. The only catch is they're pretty old. So this one, for instance, I got the Jaeger. Got this one for 99 cents, and this is the 2007 edition. So this is more than 10 years old, But I like to get these because I like to give myself ideas, and sometimes there's some pretty cute stuff. I also got this Jagger. Is it Jaeger or Jagger? Jagger? This one is 2003, so this one is a little bit older, but this is the 12 design garments in DK weight. It's each different editions. This one does really have a really nice full body jacket, which is quite interesting. They also have a shorter version for it. They have this set of cute little, what is this pattern called? Is it plaid? No. This has a name when it's like the square. I typically like to get these because they give me great ideas for patterns and for designs and just ways to make new knits, like ideas for knitwear ideas basically, to see what has been done in the past. I did get this one from Rowan, and this one is also from 2003. It is their cotton summer edition. This one was 25 cents. It has some light, airy knitwear with a cotton yarn in mind. This one, or the main cover, which is very early 2000s. See, I'm not too sure I would do this, but this is also an interesting design. I like, sometimes when I'm not too sure which project to cast on next, I like to look at Ravelry, but I also like to look at books and try to figure out what design I like, what is my next article of clothing I would like to wear. It's probably still really hot. I ended up coming back home because I was actually really confused as to what the next step was for the cardigan. The instructions for this cardigan are a little bit... This book is supposed to be like a knitting handbook, 8 schools of modular knitting. So it is supposed to be kind of like there's like a little lesson on how to do a specific type of knit, and then you work up a project with that knit design in mind. The one that I'm doing is right angles. So that's why there is a right angle turn on the front and the body. The only thing is this book is a little bit, the instructions on how to create the cardigan are very ambiguous and very, I have to figure out a lot of what it means. Like the instructions are not really helpful. Like, what does it mean to bind a ring and place it on needle in corner between 2 stitches, neck base 20 stitches? And then it's like row 2 knit, but in each of the second notches, knit 2 together. First before and first after notch. Unite rings and instead bind them around each of the second joined stitches. What? If you do choose to get this book and try to make this pattern, I would suggest that for the border and the cuffs, you might have to improvise a little bit. That is what I'm doing because I read this countless times. And just for the button bands, I feel like it's a simple button band and it shouldn't be that hard. The instructions are a bit confusing for a simple button band. I just had a revelation. There is actually a ridge that, like they call it a ridge, between the sweater and before the button band. There's like this border here. So it's going to be the opposite color of what the actual button band is going to be. That's what they mean by ridge. Okay, so we're going to knit to the shoulder. That's just what wasn't making sense before. This is turning out to be a lot more complicated than it needs to be. Please ignore, I clearly don't know how to adult. So yes, this is just like water. It's gonna dry out. Hope. I've just started the second one, so I'm knitting the blue band that goes beneath the ribbing, and then we will do the ribbing. And on this side, it should be in white. Now, funny enough, I basically finished, I never needed to get another skein. So I now have 1 full skein of blue, and I'm pretty sure, looking at how much white I have, I didn't need to go buy other skeins. The only one I really needed was the burgundy for the sleeve. So it turns out I could have just, let's just cover this. So it turns out I could have basically just bought a burgundy and not buy the other 4 colors. So the sun has now decided to come out, which is lovely because We just finished! I just finished the button bands for my cardigan. So on this side, it is a blue with a white brim, or what is it called? A white ridge. And then on this side, it is white with the blue ridge. So they're opposite, but they're the same. So now it is just a question of what buttons do we sew on. I asked you guys over on Instagram which one you would prefer. So we are just currently going to go check out that result. So the poll does seem to be 50-50 between both buttons, and I am personally going to choose the little flower ones. Okay, yeah, this one passes. I'm gonna sew these on. I think we'll just do a white just to keep it clean and simple. Okay, so I'm like really close because I kind of want to do a grand reveal, and I also have a thing on my face, so let's just ignore that. But are you guys ready to see the grand reveal? I am honestly in love with it, and I feel like it looks super cute and is perfect for fall, winter, summer, spring, all the seasons. So I am in love with this cardigan, and yes, I do have some ends to weave in, but I wanted to show you guys. I think the buttons turned out perfect as well. I can't wait to wash and block and wear this out, because I do feel like the button band, especially around here, could just use a little bit, like it's just curling just a little bit, and it could use a little bit of help with a block. I chose to put the buttons on the white side so that when I do button and close it up, it ends up on the blue and it does a nicer contrast, because I felt like if it was the other way around, I guess that would have looked nice, but I just thought you would notice the button more. And I also like that the buttons are a little bit lighter than this like kind of white. It's like a not a cream white, but it's like a gray kind of muted white. I'm really happy with the sleeves. They are an amazing length. The changes I made from extra large to a, I guess this would be a medium or a small, worked out really well. Basically what I ended up doing is I removed 2 stitches from every row. So when it said to do 10, I did 8, and I just like kind of went around each time it gave me measurements. I kind of just eyeballed it and was like, I think if I remove this many stitches, it would work. I don't really have a science behind it. Like the body, I think I ended up, like for the full body and the round, I think I ended up removing between 36 to 40 stitches from the original count. And then I did that math and kind of tried to keep it consistent with all the numbers that they gave. I did, however, make 12 bands. Like I did knit the 12 bands for the arm, so I didn't shorten the length of the sleeve. I think it's just smaller because I started again with less stitches. So it's not, the original pattern does have a much wider sleeve, but there is a nice tapering to it. As you guys can see, it's a lot baggier and looser here, and then it tapers off to the wrist with the I-cord edging. So we finally did it. We finally finished this cardigan. I am in love with it and have worn it now since I finished it. If you guys do purchase this book or have this book and are thinking about knitting up one of the patterns in it, let me know. I'm really curious to see if anybody else has this book or has knitted a pattern from it, because my experience was interesting. As I mentioned, it was a bit tricky, but I think I figured it out. The sweater, the cardigan turned out, the jacket turned out really nicely. And yeah, it turns out I didn't need to go to the yarn shop to buy more yarn. So I now have a white, a blue, and a pink. No, a white, a blue, and a yellow skein left that I need to figure out something. And I was thinking maybe next time we can make a pillow. They do have some really cute pillows, and I feel like a pillow takes up less yarn than a cardigan. If I haven't mentioned it already, if you guys do plan on getting this book, oh, here are their pillows. So their pillows are actually pretty cute. If you guys do plan on getting this book or have this book and are currently knitting up or want to knit up a pattern, message me over on Instagram or link me somewhere so I can see, because I'm really curious to see anybody else make this. I looked over on Instagram and I couldn't see a hashtag anywhere, couldn't see I looked up the right angle jacket and nothing pops up. I'm pretty sure there wasn't even something on Ravelry, so I don't know if this is like an underground where this came out of. I couldn't even find Vivian Hawksbros, so that's the designer for these designs. But yeah, so this cardigan right now does feel a little bit warm for the weather. It is 50% cotton, 50% wool, so it is still a warmer cardigan, but the yarn that I used for it, the Sandnes Garn, Sisu Duo, and the Double Sunday were all a joy to work with and to knit up. And if you guys want to use these yarns, I highly recommend you guys check them out. Are relatively affordable. It's a good quality yarn, and I'm just always surprised by their color choices. They have a really wide range of colors, and you can mix and match them like I did. You can't really tell the difference too much. Up close you can feel, and I think it's just the Sisu, which is the different one. The Duo and the Double Sunday kind of feel the same because they're more woolly. The Sisu, I think it's the 10% acrylic that it has, and it's a thinner yarn. I really didn't knit with that much yellow in the cardigan anyways, in the jacket. If you guys have any questions about this jacket or the pattern, the yarn, anything, ask it down below. I will gladly answer you. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys have a splendid weekend, a lovely week, a lovely day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Everything is down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!